Hey everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode. Jesus Christ, I am out
Now you are gonna have to edit.
yeah, well, that'll be easy. Hey everybody, and welcome back to an exciting episode of Mainstream Monday here on Horror Film Lovers. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody. I'm here with.
It certainly is exciting, John Ward.
Yep, yep.
Ugh.
And we're all tired, I think. I don't know. You're probably more tired than I am.
I'm
Um,
I'm just a cranky old man.
okay, well, that works. So we're here to discuss a fun little movie called The Forever Purge.
Do you have
Ah,
your copy? Oh, you
I got
got your
my copy.
4K.
Yeah, I got my 4K that I bought while we were, I think it was during the first original Purge movie we did. I went out and bought those because I needed them for my collection. Yes, that is that. I think I have.
Do you have a slipcover for
I think I
yours?
have a slip cut. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I don't think I did. I don't need one. I'm fine. I don't like slippies.
What? It's
But I do
insane.
have a slip one for the TV series, which is weird. But I don't have one for. I'm not a slip guy. I'm not a, if there was no
That's
slip covers,
crazy.
if there's no well, most of the time slip covers just look like the regular movie. So I'm like I'd rather just have the movie. Like it. Why do I need to undress it? You know?
Because it's fancy.
Mm-mm. It's
It's
not
f-
fancy.
it's fancy.
It's just a pain in my butt. It's one less thing
Well,
one
that's
more thing I have to
hemorrhoids.
work.
You could get a cream for that.
Well, this is like or having a slipcover is like having hemorrhoids. How about that?
Wow. So do you agree with the review on the back?
What is
One of the best Purge movies yet.
um it's okay. It wasn't my favorite, but it was you're saying wow.
Well, remember I said this was my favorite.
But then I heard like that you might be changed your mind might
Well,
be changed.
when I was with OGP and one of the people in the chat said that they did not because I mentioned that we were doing these. And I said my favorite one was the Forever Purge, and somebody in the chat said I don't like that one because it criticizes Republicans. And I'm like, oh, I haven't seen the movie in a while. Okay, I don't know about that, but maybe. I did not find that at all. I don't know what the person's talking about. I don't think that this is. I mean, we've already discussed. We know the most likely the political affiliation of these filmmakers. It goes to the left, so they are going to, show stuff or whatever it might be for for the right and not the best light. But
Mm,
I didn't think that it was because I mean the horse even has an American flag on it.
right.
Um, but I didn't think that. This is still my favorite one. And as the documentary points out, it is the only Purge movie shot during the day. And I think that's why I like it, is I love horror stuff that's shot during the day.
Okay, I
Night
never
TV
even
is
thought about
boring.
that. No.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't think about that when I was watching it. Because it does make sense because the first movie or the first movies or whatever all take place during the actual purge. This is one of the only movies where they kind of did like, because I think before you had said like this was maybe like a episode like what the third season would have been like.
that's what they said. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
read.
And so this does feel very much like the TV show more than it does like it feels like a movie version of the TV show, if that makes any sense. That's kind of what I got from it when I was watching it. And I think I did like it. I enjoyed it a lot. But it's not like my least favorite Purge movie or anything. But I'd probably still count like I still love Election Year and Anarchy a little bit more, you know, than this, but I think I like this better than the first one. And I think the first one, just because it's just takes place in one house, and I love movies that have more scope, you know. Um,
You're not a fan of that. Yeah.
yeah, well, I mean, I look, I did like it a lot. And for a movie that had it only being in mostly in one location, it was pretty damn good. They utilized that location well, and it interested me and kept me on my toes. Not a lot of movies can do that. Um, but this movie was I mean, this movie was all like everywhere too, like, as well. And I mean, I just enjoyed it a lot. But Anarchy, I want to say maybe Election Night is my favorite, and then or it's Election Year, not Election Night, Election Year. I always call Election Night. I don't know why. Don't
I think
ask.
I've done the same thing with it.
But then Anarchy, and then this one right now. That's when I start to like maybe think about it some more. Maybe the ranking may change, but I think for now that's basically my ranking because this one was great. This one had a lot of fun, and it was a continuation of the TV show's ideas of like what happens after the purge, you know? And we just discussed that with season two, right? Like,
Well,
you
this
know,
is the comeback of the purge because it's election year happens before this one. So that's two. Wow, these timelines are so bizarre. So election year takes place in 2040, and this one is 8 years later. So it's 2048, and they do say it is the first purge to come back. And so I guess in those 8 years, they've now, the people have, there's now these groups that do the
mm,
Forever Purge. So they have their own symbol, their own name. And I love how we meet everybody. The purge happens. There's everything gets shut down. And then next morning, and everything is like, oh, hey, we survived. All right, that's cool. And then no, everybody leaves and everybody's still killing everyone. And they're
mm,
like, no, but the alarms went off, the sirens went off. You can't do this. And they're like, fuck that.
why
And
not?
yeah, and I like that. Now, I thought this took place at the end of the movie because I saw this a long time ago. So I thought we had the whole purge, and then at the very end of the movie, it continues. And I don't know if this is the Mandela effect or something, but I could swear that the camera pulls back way far and we see, America, Mexico, and the border. And all the purge is going over into Mexico. And
Yeah, I don't think
which
that
it
happened,
it
right?
didn't happen. No, but
No,
I remember this movie being completely different.
but you still
So
think it's your favorite.
probably because of the day, being shot during the day, and then I love because when does it end? Like everybody, I guess for the most part, obeys the sirens.
Hmm.
There's probably, there's still a reason why there's a fire department and police department and stuff like that, because people probably still do crime. But what happens when it doesn't stop? Like, is this now just Mad Max? Is this just anarchy? Is
I was explaining that to my niece. I was explaining like this movie, and she was like, "That sounds like anarchy." I was like, "Yeah, but they already did a movie called, The Purge Anarchy, so they had to call it the Forever Purge, for this one."
Yeah, because it's since they're going to be making another one, I guess. I wonder if it's going to take place after this, or if it's just going to be. I mean, since God, it takes place over 100 years or
Well,
something. You know.
this would have been a great sort of ending to it, because like really, my thought about that was like that just disproves like their point, that that doing it once a year will basically stop violence from happening, right? And now they can't cover this up this was whatever. And by the end of it, the media is reporting that everybody's fighting back and taking back, whatever, America, but they're not taking it back for the founding fathers of America, the new founding fathers of America. They're doing it just to survive, just to live, right? So this would prove sort of that, like that the new founding fathers are wrong, you know? That you see what I'm saying?
It's a yes and a no. So we had the woman who won the presidency, and she said that she was going to end it, which she did. And then the founding fathers won. So if we go off of our politics, she would be liberal, so she won, got rid of it. Then the liberals lost, and the Republicans came back in, founding fathers, and started it back up again. But as we know from what this series has told us, and anything that you could probably see online, is this is done for like population control, this is done to make money. This is, it's like a whole bunch of reasons. So I don't think they care if it solves murder, except for one night out of the year. I think it's all profit.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, so you're saying that the in election year, she wins at the end.
Mhm.
She gets rid of the purge. And then for 4 years there's no purge, right? Basically,
Right.
while she's president. Then she loses the next election and it becomes a Republican at that point, right?
Well, it's 8 years, so she might have won twice because normally
Yeah, so she
it's
probably won
it's
twice
two
twice.
terms is what it normally is, and it normally does go like Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican. They unless you're like a horrible president, then you only get the one term. So if
Ah, well, I
well,
guess you
guess who came back and got his second term and might even get a third. And then so then she loses because she can't run again, and then the founding fathers win, and they're like, bringing it back, everybody. We're bringing it back.
right. So yeah, so they bring it back and and now and that was that, right? That was that purge that had in the beginning of the movie, right?
The very first one. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
so that was the very first purge back. And it was
like
like
Purge
people,
2.0.
yeah, well, I mean, it was looked like a pretty bad purge. And in the beginning of the movie, we see a bunch of Mexican, citizens who sneak into the United States, and they want to basically live the American dream or whatever, and they be a part of Purge, I guess be a part of the Purge. I did like the scene where the people are driving by saying, "We don't want you people here. We're gonna," all those trucks and stuff, and they're kind of saying it over the loudspeaker. And then the one girl's got like it shows early on that she's a good shot. She knows like not a good shot, but she knows how to use a weapon if she needs to.
Yeah, she mentions that she was part of a group that fought the cartels.
Right. And so they basically all this stuff happens and then they survive that night. They survive Purge night. And all of
Yeah, that's
us,
what they're all, hey, we survived.
yeah, they're all happy.
Oops.
Oops, well, you know.
Little do you know when you step outside.
I think I asked you the question in the beginning of like what happens if somebody doesn't obey like the uh doesn't obey purge rules, and kills people after the purge. And then we kind of see that in the TV show, right? We see it that one time where that one guy in season one shot the guy after the stuff went off, and then the one friend of his is like, or whatever, the guy that runs the bar is telling him, "Oh, don't worry, I heard it out," like,
Well,
I
he
heard it.
he might have, but from what we're seeing with season two is if you're caught, they analyze it. And then if they feel that that it did happen after, then they come after you.
All
So you
right.
just have to make sure you're not seen by a camera. And since in season one, our guy who turns into a bad guy does get killed at the end after the alarm, I guess nobody saw it,
Yep.
because there's probably no cameras in there,
Yeah, there was
in
probably
the
no, because that
building.
was at a pool or something. There's not going to be any cameras at a pool.
Yeah, it was like a school, and
School
yeah, they went
pool.
into the pool. Yeah,
Yeah, so
cool
there
pool.
probably wouldn't be any cameras there. But I would hope not. That'd be really creepy watching kids in their bikinis and stuff. No, no, no. That's
I
not.
know. I would think that there would be just in case there's an issue between the students.
Or somebody drowns, maybe. I don't know. But
Yeah, something like that. But in this case, there it
there
isn't.
doesn't seem to be one, so he
Yeah,
didn't get in trouble.
I mean they don't bring that up until
Season two.
season two.
And that was
That
actually before.
yeah,
That
made
was
after
earlier.
but takes place before. So
Yeah.
this is something new when they're saying, okay, well let's show people how we do this. So obviously when they were shooting season one, they probably weren't thinking about that, about like, oh, well, you could get caught.
Nope. Um, so we had chose the timeline before, right? Like so
Yeah, actually have it up right here.
you have the timeline of is it like the real timeline, are we sure? Because we've had
Yeah,
multiple ones.
so the first Purge 2016, The Purge is 2022, Anarchy is 2023, Purge election year is 2040, The Forever Purge is 2048, and then the TV series takes place between the first two movies. So then it would go the first Purge, then season two, then season one, and then the Purge.
There you go.
So, but man, that is a huge. I mean, we're watching movies that start at 2016 and end in 2048. Because it's weird. The Purge, the first Purge, that came out in 2018, but it takes place in 2016.
Hmm.
And then like The Purge is 2000, was made in 2013, but takes place in 2022. And it just kind of continues like that. But it's weird that for the first Purge, it's they could still say it was 2018, but they said it 2 years prior.
Maybe. Um, so anyway, to go back to our purge, so our purge is the last purge, the one we're doing right now is
Our Purge, that's our version of the Purge. Our Purge.
our purge. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna be purging anyone or anything. I man, I don't know. I'm not. I didn't. One thing I didn't like is they had dogs. I guess like dog pit bulls or something that the Rottweilers that they were gonna like set loose. I guess and have them rip people apart or something. You never see it happen. Thank God, because I don't want to see a dog die. In
It's
this
done
purge.
in, is it Anarchy? I think I said, where there was that deleted scene that I think they should have left in with the woman who's taking care of the whole thing. And then Frank Grillo says, "Get out of here." And she leaves with her assistant. And that's the last you see of them in the movie. But there is a deleted scene of them leaving the parking garage.
Hmm.
And it's the masked guys, and they have the
Oh,
pit
that's
bulls.
right. That's right.
And
Yeah.
they just release the pit bulls, and you see the pit bulls kind of like jump at the camera, and you just hear like ah, so they got all torn up.
Yeah, I think that was election year.
Was it
That
election? It was
was
one of the two,
election year
yeah.
because Frank because no, no, you might be right. You might be anarchy because they had to go through the sewer and then they got caught and then they had to fight at the place or whatever and then the guy
Yeah, yeah,
shows
I think it
up.
is
The
anarchy.
guy
Yeah.
shows up from the first one or whatever. Yeah. So it's anarchy. Wow. Man, the move we've been watching them like so much that they kind of they're every week, for a while. So it's been like almost a couple, month or two or whatever since we watched the first couple.
They're starting to blend.
I know, which is scary because they're also blending into my life, and I'm starting to wonder if like
Ah,
the purge is happening. Like, is it coming up? Is it happening? You
oh,
know.
it's coming up shortly. It's the 21st,
I know.
21st and
Well, when
22nd.
this comes out, this will be in like May that this episode comes out. So it'll be 2 years after the or 2 months after the purge. You know, sorry, but the purge has already been over. We're done with the purge.
But we will be our recap will be on the purge.
Well, we will. Yeah, we will shoot it on the purge.
Yeah. So
Record
we
it on
have
the
to
purge.
mention that when we're
Yeah,
recording it, that today is Purge Day. And
but
it
yeah,
does start at 7, and we recorded 7.
we'll
So
record
we
7 your time. Yeah, for sure.
oh yeah for me. Yeah. So
It
that's
won't be 7 for me. It'll be 10 for me.
oh yeah, you'll already be into the purge.
I'll be already into the purge. The
Yeah.
purge. Wait, so how does that work? So like, okay, so the East Coast will have the purge before the West Coast will have the purge, or is it?
Unless your purge would start at 10
But then it still says 7 o'clock, 7 to 7.
in unless East Coast it's the message is different at the beginning. It says the purge now starts at 10 p.m. and will end at 10,
It didn't say it in the It didn't say it in the first purge, and that was East Coast,
Yeah,
wasn't
and
it?
that
That
is
was on
East
the New York
Coast.
Coast. That was
Ooh.
7 o'clock. So I think the purge happens in different, at seven
Of
o'clock
in the
at
different time
in the
zones.
different time zones. So like you could watch Facebook like live. Like what if somebody's live streaming murdering people on the East Coast? You could watch that or the West Coast before you get to the, it gets to the so like 4 o'clock, you could be watching live streams of people being murdered or whatever, I don't
Yeah.
know. Whatever sick people are into, you know, because that's what it is. Like all this stuff is just sick people that, you know,
Well, it's a dystopian future, so that's Rollerball and the Omega Man,
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. I mean, The Matrix, even all that type of stuff is all a dystopian future, and some people love it and some people hate it.
The Running Man.
The Running Man, yeah. So,
Um,
you know,
no, I mean it's okay. Those are some games that people like to play and shit. But I mean, it's interesting. Was the Maze Runner a dystopian at all? I
yeah,
don't know. Okay, so that was also like that.
yeah, and uh, the other female one, Divergent.
Okay, so that was wow. You could have a
That was
whole
also another one.
like marathon of those things if
Oh,
you
you
wanted.
could. I own most of them. So it's yeah. And then they had some single ones too, like I think it's what is it, I Am Four or something, and they had some other ones that were just single movies that didn't do very well. But they're all like young reader dystopian type of stuff.
Ah,
So well, these are more adult. So well, what did you think of the I didn't think this was fair. I don't think except for the son, I don't think the ranch owners who are all white, I don't it didn't look like except for the son that they were treated poorly. Like their help, their help is Hispanic, and the dad even goes out and says, "Here's your purge, like safety money,"
hmm.
which he doesn't have to do.
Yeah, protection money.
Yeah. And then the guy, looks at one of the other Hispanic guys and says, screw these guys, they're slaves. I know what I'm going to be using this money for.
Which is funny because those are the guys shooting at him at that one point, right? Those are the guys, those are two Hispanic guys are shooting at them when they come to the because of they see them, basically they kill off the one rich the was it the one rich guy, the father, I guess the grandfather or something,
Well, you'd be the dad,
the
and
dad,
then yeah, because there was the dad, the son, who is
which
Lucas,
or Josh Lucas is what,
Josh
yeah.
Lucas. See, and he was, I don't even think he was racist because he's trying to break the horse, I think is what it's called, and
He
he
doesn't.
can't he can't
Oh,
do it.
right.
And the dad always says, "Why does he have to prove himself?" type of thing. And then they have the Hispanic guy come in who like gets the horse to lie down and everything.
Yeah, the horse
And
whisperer.
yeah, exactly. And so then the son gets mad. He gets jealous about that. And later on, the Hispanic guy, when the Forever Purge is happening, says, you don't like me, do you? You don't like Mexicans very much. And the son says, well, he goes, it's not that I don't like Mexicans. I just think that we should be separate. So, white people with white people, black people with black people, that whole th thing, which I don't think is necessarily racist, um, because groups tend to be together. That's why there's different areas and cities and all that. Um, but and then I think he does come around, that
Mm,
he does like the guy and sides with them to get over because ironically the couple who escapes Mexico to come over to America then has to escape back into Mexico, and then the son who we think doesn't like this guy or Mexicans, he then has to go to Mexico. So, but it's I don't necessarily because they meet up with like the white supremacist group,
right.
and he doesn't go, oh, take them.
Right.
He fights alongside with of them,
Right.
which I think is a good
I don't
character
think I
arc
don't think that
for
guy
him.
was I don't think that guy was very racist at all. I think he was just, you know,
I think
um
he was butthurt,
yeah.
you
Um
know.
yeah, and then it was interesting because like once the Forever Purge started, you got the different groups, and everything. And then you had all these other people that were just random purgers, but like, they're just like we're what is it? It's ever after or something, or whatever. So they're planning to purge every day for the rest of their life, I guess. And I'm like, why would you want to do that?
It's just it's going to turn into Mad Max. That's all it's going to be. It's just going to be an endless war.
Yeah. Well, kind of like I was kind of viewing it going, this is literally how I view like Civil War is gonna be, you know? Like if we ever had one, that people would go after the people that they don't want, around or whatever, whether it be certain race or certain political, you know, thing, which I mean, unless some groups wore blue and then others wore red, you wouldn't even know which one is which, you know? Somebody would have to literally tell you which one they are. Kind of like in that Civil War movie where the guy, asked them what they are, or whatever. Yeah, well, most of the time he asks them where they're from. And if he didn't like where they're from, he shoots them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the guy says, I'm an American, and and of course, for people who don't know, we're talking about the movie Civil War that
Yeah,
came from
from A24.
Alex Garland. Yeah, and he says, well, I'm an American, and he goes, really, what side of America are you on? So if you say, conservative, he probably would have let him go, but he didn't, and I think that movie is horribly flawed, but it gives because there would be drones and there'd be other stuff being used. They just didn't seem to
Well, they didn't want to
do
do that
that.
because like it would have been too easy, I think, for.
that I think is a problem. I think Alex, Garland is a good writer, but I
But
think that he didn't do a good job on that.
but I think this movie didn't have drones, or whatnot. Like you would have thought that they would have
Well,
brought
because
drones.
it's kind of an I mean, I know Civil War would also be, I guess, considered to be kind of an alternate timeline, but this is just done better.
But they've had drones before in other of the purges. So I'm
I
like,
think it's election year, right? Is when we actually see them hovering. But I think they're right, and then they shoot them and they explode. But I think they're cameras.
was that? I think it might have been election year because yeah, because it wasn't at the no,
Was it Anarchy?
it might have been the TV show. I thought because like remember the big black dude was on there and he saw the drone, he shot the drone or tried to shoot at the drone and the drone flew away and shot all his friends that were
Oh, maybe it is a TV show.
the gangster guy, and that was the TV, that was season one. So, but they didn't really have many of the drones. They could, but I think once again, but they did have it for election year because the drones were flying around looking for people or whatever. And then they were just basically reporting. They weren't shooting people. They were just reporting where they were so that the guy that was looking for the upcoming president or whatever lady, the lady running for president. They were looking for her with the drones, and then he saw it with the TV screens or whatever in his car or in his plane or something. Yeah, wherever he was, I think he was in a car or truck.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it was one of them. But yeah, they had drone type things, and I would think probably since this was the first purge and they weren't supposed to continue, the
hmm
government and the military and everybody was completely caught off guard.
yep,
So, because now you could kill anybody. You could kill the president, or you could kill a congressperson, or you could kill a soldier, or you could, blow up a tank. It doesn't matter. You're
yep,
just you're just going to purge everything.
yep.
So if
So
we so I think it'll be interesting to see what they do.
if they do
You
a
know,
sequel, if they do one more, remember we read that it would be like it went international, so everybody is doing the purge. There'd be a purge in Hong Kong and a purge in, England. Maybe England would be like snubbing their nose, going, "We're not going to do the purge." Like I don't know how that would catch on because, well, then
you got
again,
rough areas in the UK, just like any other place.
then again, so many people remember they talked about purge tours, so people came from all over the world just to purge, just to be able to purge for the night. That's like a vacation for people, and I think, oh my God, that's so messed up. Let's go to America and go kill people.
Well, it's like Hostel, you know.
That's
You go to
true.
you go to Europe to kill somebody.
I love Hostel. The first Hostel is great. The rest of them are okay, but the
I like
first
one
one,
and two. Three's garbage.
I haven't watched three, but
Oh God,
God, wasn't that made by Scott Spiegel or something?
yeah, it is
Uh,
awful. It is
I'm
bad.
sad about that because he sort of gets like these sequels instead of making his own movies, and I'm like, Intruder was so good. He should have had his own feature, another feature, not just doing these crappy sequels that I don't even think he wrote them. I think he just directed them, you know? So, poor guy. And now he's passed away, so, you know.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. So,
Yeah. He
well,
was one
because
of those guys.
I was thinking because Hostel 3 reminded me more of Saw than Hostel.
Okay.
And I even kind of thought that with the Forever Purge is
Mm-hmm.
when the woman walks out of the building, our lead, one of our leads, and she gets stuck in that contraption that has the goat in it,
Mm-hmm.
and it flips her backwards and
Yep.
she's stuck, and then it's got the device that looks like it would almost kill like cows or something. It's like a type of thing as it's going down to like, going to her head. I'm like, wow, that must have taken some time to make.
I also
You know,
think maybe like I wouldn't be surprised if James DeMonaco, who wrote the movie, Saul, or DeMonco, whatever his name is. I think it's DeMonaco. But I bet he saw Saul,
saw saw.
and he was like, huh. And then maybe there was like some kind of contraption that they had an idea for, and they never used it for the Saw movies. So he was like, let's put it in this movie, you know.
I mean, it's possible because it is very saw. Like, how would you, she's trying to get the goat out, which then she's trying to get like it's like a lever or something. So let's say it's a key, and then she pulls on it, and then that flips her this way, and then Jigsaw would come on and be like, you blah 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 did this, and now you have, 60 seconds to get out, and slowly but surely the device that's, gonna basically crush her skull by putting like this, it's I don't know exactly what you would call it, but you could press a button and it just goes like, and then you bring it down a little bit and you press the button again, it goes, and because so I could see that as a total saw device.
Wow. So apparently, the Purge election year, I got a 6.0 for user ratings, right? The Purge number one, like the not the first Purge, but the first Purge made, got a 5.8, right? And Purge Anarchy got a 6.4, and our Forever Purge got a 5.4, you know, and the first Purge got a 5.2. So I'm like thinking, damn, like there's they're only at 5 or 6 user rating. I would have thought they'd go higher than that. Like that's pretty low, you know? 5 out of
Well,
10 stars.
I mean, it's a light series, it makes its money, so like each one makes more money. The Purge, the original Purge, budget is 3 million. It makes 89.
Mm-hmm.
Anarchy, budget is 9. It makes 111. Election year, budget is 10,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes 118. First Purge, budget is 13, and it makes 137. And then Forever Purge, budget is 18, and it makes 76. So not as much as First Purge. Oh, wait, so it actually made the least.
This one?
Yeah, because if so it would go, yeah, because if The Purge is 89 and
And
this is
this, I mean,
76,
damn.
so it made the least.
Maybe that's why they haven't made one since 2021. Because usually it comes out every like 3 or 4 years, right? I'm honestly surprised that they didn't make one after this last election and, like as a sort of FU to you know, to everything. But maybe they're very careful what they're doing, because Hollywood is being sort of looked at now, you know.
Well, I'm surprised that The Hunt never got a sequel, you know.
Did it make its money back?
I'm not sure, but I mean
I don't think
they
we would
could
know because it was a streamer, right? Like I don't know if that went to theaters, did it?
um, yeah, this is it, The Hunt 2020. Ooh,
Oh,
it
dude.
bombed.
Yeah, it
It
bombed.
bombed.
Got 10
Budget is
million.
14. Well, I have 12, but it's still no better than 10. So,
Yeah, no, I know 10 was what it said. Yeah, 10
yeah, I
million is what it said on the IMDb. Damn.
Yeah, I got 12 on Wikipedia, but 10 or 12 does not matter.
Yeah,
You know, they're still around the same. So yeah,
because they didn't even make their money back, which sucks because that's not really the money. Like that's just the budget for shooting the movie. That's not all the marketing and extra stuff that they have to put in there. You know, so it sucks. When because that probably costs at least 20 million, if not 30 million to make. Because of all the extra stuff they have to put into it, especially during COVID, because it came out. It was 2020, wasn't it? Like it was a
yeah.
so it probably got shot in 2019. They were hoping for a good 2020 release, and then bam, COVID hits, and I think
Well,
they
and Trump wanted the movie to be like destroyed,
yeah.
because they only heard about it. Nobody watched it. That's the thing. It's one of those movies like I remember when The Last Temptation of Christ came out and we were playing it at a theater and everybody called for us not to play the movie. And it's like, well, have you seen it? They're like, well, no. Well,
And that's
then,
the same thing with Kevin Smith with Dogma. Like when Dogma came out, Kevin Smith talked about it how there were people picketing his movie theater, like the movie theater by his house. So he went there and picketed with them. Did you hear that story?
yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, they're like, you look like
Yeah,
the, they're
there's
like,
cell phone footage or something of it of him out there like, yeah, yeah,
yeah, like Dogma is dog shit.
Yeah.
Pissed off the people, like, you can't say that. It was like, but it's true. That's what I heard.
Well, and that's the thing is that a lot of these people they don't, and they are more to the right that they jump the gun on this stuff because if you I guess it's kind of neutral in the hunt,
Hmm.
but it really is the left is bad. I mean, I would imagine anybody who finds people to put into a box and then dump them in the middle of nowhere and then go out and hunt them are not good.
No.
So so without them even seeing it, they have no idea that the left is actually the bad guys.
And in the case of Dogma, they didn't know that there's a rubber poop monster in the movie. You know,
That would have changed their minds instantly.
it'd just be like all of a sudden, oh, okay, there's a rubber poop
Rubber
monster.
Poo Monster, I'm on board now. Make a
Yeah,
sequel now.
make a sequel. Um, Now it was so this movie, yeah, I don't know why this movie didn't do well, but it might still be somewhat COVID because it came out in 2021. And so it probably didn't make as much because not as many people are going to the theater then, you know? A lot of people in 2021 were still afraid to go to the theater because they're afraid to get COVID.
Yeah.
So maybe that had to do a lot with it. I don't know. Maybe there's
Well,
something
I think it's also a series that you can't necessarily relate to. Like Saw, I think people can relate to it because they've had family members that have been, killed by a drunk driver. And now they're seeing up on screen the drunk driver being tortured. Do you let the guy go or do you let him be tortured and die? So I think that there's a point of relate being related, that you can relate to something like these other movies, but this one you can't. It's you're just going to a movie to see people kill each other, really.
I'm looking at the trivia for it, and it says Jason Blum talked with Sylvester Stallone about starring in the movie. What character would he have played? The dad that got shot?
Maybe.
That's a weird cameo. That's a very small cameo. I don't know. Maybe that's why he didn't do it. Because there's no other character I would imagine would have done that. Du, 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 du. Um, I was looking at some of the cool. Unlike unlike previous films that focus on urban or suburban environments, this film shifts to a rural setting in Texas, providing a new perspective on how the purge affects different communities. I like that. Um,
Yeah, it is Texas.
Also, did you remember there was a Wilhelm scream at one point?
Yeah. I'm like, what? Come on.
I it's
I
so
don't mind the
random.
scream. I'm just hoping that people put it in as a joke, that they know what the scream is and how well known it is. And so it's like, yeah, just throw that in there. Why not?
It was funny. It was like it made me laugh because I was like, what the heck did they do? Wilhelm scream? All right, you know. Um, while the movie received mixed reviews, critics praised its bold exploration of relevant social themes and its shift in tone compared to earlier films. Honestly, I wonder how this movie would fare nowadays because a lot of it is about Mex you know, Mexican people coming to the United States, and things like that. Like it has a lot of that. Like um I don't know. It just feels like there'd be some more conversation now, you know?
I think all these movies are kind of relevant to
What's
today.
yeah, today.
Yeah. Because if you were to make this one today, you would have to include something that looks like ice. And then, that and then because you are showing the couple that comes over the border, the wife wants the American dream. So the filmmakers do really let the audience know we are not bad people. We are here for the dream. We are leaving a country that is, filled with a cartel that's killing people. They really make these illegal immigrants, or dreamers, as some people call them, uh, uh, like they just want to be here to live, and survive and live that dream.
So in the movie, there's a guy that helps her get out of the goat trap, or whatever, a black
Oh
guy
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
helps.
It's a black guy.
And
Yeah.
and they both get arrested by the NFFA. And they're taken with all these other guys. The one guy started annoying the fuck out of me. The one that was like super excited about the Forever Purge and stuff. He was like, "Oh, Forever
Oh yeah,
Purge."
the white
Like,
supremacist.
I was
He
like,
did have the swastika on his face.
shut the fuck up. Just you're annoying me right now. And then but after they get kind of free and they're going into the girls the truck or whatever that has all the people, the Hispanic people and the white people together, she asks the guy to come with him, the black guy, and he says, "No, I've gotta, go find my family." We never see that story again. Like we never see
Mm-mm.
him again, right? I was kind of disappointed. Like I thought he could show up sometime or something, kind of help out or whatever, but it was just like, okay, that was just a device for one thing to lead to another.
It would have, I agree with you. It would have been good that maybe at the end, as they're either in the city that's, right next to the border, that maybe, one of them looks over and we see the guy with his family
Yeah,
and we see them, kind of ducking bullets and he's running to the border, or that maybe he's one of the people that's going over the mountain, that's going into Mexico.
something
That
like
that
that, but
yeah, just because it's kind of like if you remember The Mist, you
mm,
have a Carol that you could play Carol in The Walking Dead. She's the first one to leave the supermarket, and everybody's like, "You're dead. You're going to die." And then at the very end, after Thomas Jane has shot everybody in the car, and the trucks are rolling through with the army, he looks up and there she is. So she did survive. So we know what happened to her.
yeah,
We
it's
don't
been so
see her
long since I
journey.
saw that, but
Oh, such a great movie. and but it's like shit, you survived. So yeah, it would have been nice to maybe follow up on what happened to that guy and his
I
family,
mean, it
even
just,
if it's just them looking and they're running across,
yeah, even if he doesn't help or he's just, with his family, that would be cool. But it goes to make you think, did he survive? Did he die? Did he is he going to like is it going to be hell for him now? Because he's still got to fight back, and continue to try to fight for as long as he lives, you know? Like, I mean, that's the thing with this idea is that, like, you're going to constantly have to, fight until everybody who wants the Forever Purge is gone, is wiped out, right? You know? See what I'm
yeah,
saying? I
yeah,
mean,
it's just gonna keep going and going and going and going.
so it would be nice if they did do a sequel that they did what like the Mist, where all the army, because they tried that with this one. I guess the armies had tanks. They were coming in trying to wipe people out that have weapons. If you have a weapon, you're gonna die. We're gonna kill you because you're not, you know, you're disobeying us right now. You know, even if you're just trying to survive. You know,
I mean, I guess they could say off screen that the government was able to take
they
control, the
didn't
military
though.
was able, well, down the road. Like if they, with making the new movie, we would just miss that gap. And then the new movie would be like, oh yeah, a year ago or 2 years ago, we took control again. Anybody who didn't want to comply, we killed.
Hmm.
Because all this stuff, everything has a beginning, middle, and an end, including war. So at some point, I mean, I guess it would have an ending. I mean, I keep comparing it to Mad Max, and that doesn't really seem to have an ending. It just seems to kind of continue to go on
Yeah.
and on and on.
Well, and then we get different Mad Maxes, other people playing Mad Max because Mel Gibson can't play Mad Max, into his 80s.
Well, there's a whole thing behind that. So, I mean, but that's a whole other
That's a whole
video.
nother mainstream movie thing.
Yeah, so
Um, I don't know. I really enjoyed this one a lot. I did think it was a lot of fun. Um, I thought there were really cool moments. When the girl killed the mama, or whatever. He was like, "Mama," he's all
I,
upset.
I love that type of stuff in movies. It cracks me up is they shoot one of the Hispanic guys and he's hooking up with the white girl. And it's perfectly fine. But when you shoot my wife or girlfriend, oh, that's it. Now we're done. And I've always loved that in movies with villains, where they're just like, haha, I'm going to destroy the world. Here are my wife and children. And then you have somebody, our hero, comes in and kills the wife. And then the bad guy's like, how dare you kill my wife? It's like, you were going to destroy the world. Really? Do you, do you really have the right to complain that somebody killed your wife when you were about to set off like a virus to destroy the world? It's like almost hypocritical that this racist, this white supremacist gets pissed that his wife or whoever she was is killed, but yet he just killed a
I don't
guy.
think it was a wife. I think it was really his mom. I thought it was his mom.
Oh, I thought he just was like because she looked young. I thought it was like mama, like girlfriend, because women called guys daddy,
I thought he said later, "You killed my mom or mama or whatever." So
whatever she
I don't
is.
know, whatever she was. Anyway, he killed, yeah. So she killed her. So now I'm gonna kill you, come after you, and I want the Mexican girl, Which I did like the scene, like where he grabs her and pulls her into, through the window and stuff. Seemed like, like whoa, that was crazy, She shouldn't have been near that window, you know. Um.
Hmm.
From now on, think about it before, if you're ever in a situation, stay away from windows, you know.
Right. Well, and
Yes.
and it's funny in these types of movies because anybody that does come off as like a psychopath or a racist or whatever, when you watch the behind the scenes, they seem like the nicest people.
Well,
Like in
it's
real
called
real
acting,
life.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, you would just think that, oh my God, if he's playing, sexual assault, on somebody, he must be a horrible person. And then you see behind the scenes where all of a sudden the actor, yeah, is like picking up the female actor. Are you okay? Are you all right? I just want to make sure you're okay. And he's like
Right.
completely the opposite of the character that he was playing. So
Of
you probably
course.
know this guy who was going to go kill the people who shot his mother, that he was probably like a very nice man, in real
Probably.
life.
I look like I'm wearing that guy's hat.
You do. You look like you would
I'm a
shoot
cowboy
somebody
now.
on a ranch. You are. Pew pew
Yeah.
pew
They
pew pew
have
pew
what
pew
is it? They
pew.
have lassos in the movie. I was like, yes. And they would lasso the people. That's one of my favorite, like, because I'm not really, I'm not a huge Western fan, but I love when people like round people up with a lasso. I just think it's so funny, very cartoony.
Like Wonder Woman.
Uh, that's the lasso of truth,
Not
right?
not really.
That's the
Not
lasso
really.
of truth or something. That's a truth
Yeah.
lasso. She gets the truth out of you with that thing. Uh, the truth is that movie sucked. All of them sucked. I don't care. Like, especially 1984.
The first Wonder Woman was good.
Mm,
1984 was awful.
nah, I don't like the first one either. But remember, it took place in the past, which didn't make any
Oh,
sense
that's
to
right,
me.
during like World War One.
Yeah. You know my thing. You know me.
I know you,
Yeah.
yeah. If every time we do a video, I learn something more that you don't like. It's you, you and Philip. It really is amazing.
I know we get that's why him and I get along well because we both
I
hate a lot of
I
stuff that
don't like movies that take place in a pasture with a two-story house with a family that only has three people in it. If they had four, it'd be different. And they only have two cars. Well, if they had one, that's how I
it
see
has to be
you guys.
three, not two, three.
See, I'm learning more and more every time. Learning more and more.
Um, but no, this I mean, I like I'm not like I said I'm not a big Western fan, but I love the. There are times I get a kick out of cowboy movies and stuff, and everything, and because most of the time it's just this same shit. But I like movies that are different. Like Paul introduced me to Dead Man from Jim Jarmusch. Fucking love that movie, but it's not your typical cowboy movie, Western, kind of thing. Um, I like I mean, I don't know. I like a lot of those kind of things because they have to be different than the stuff where, okay, I'm gonna meet you at the OK Corral and we're gonna have a shootout,
That's a great movie.
the OK Corral, shootout at the OK Corral or something like that. But things like that, but like there's a ton of those, and it's like fucking Sidekicks made fun of it. And I always love that. Where the Chuck Norris movie Sidekicks, where he's like, give me a milk, right? Or whatever. And then he's like punching the guy in the bar. And I'm like, because those kind of stuff I hate. I just get tired of them. I'm just like, there's too many of them, you know.
There's the Monkees. There's an episode of them in Texas, and Mickey Dolenz is dressed up like the cowboy, and Peter Tork is dressed up like a Native American, and they go into a bar because they need to find a posse. And Mickey Dolenz goes up to the bar and says, bartender, give me a milk. And the guy goes, a milk? Put it in a dirty glass. Now he's a badass. So then we go get that dirty glass with the milk in it, because we don't want to piss him off. So
Back to the Future 3. Didn't he get a milk? You know?
that,
I,
yeah, I think that's like the go-to thing for these type of things
it's
is
annoying.
milk.
It's annoying, and that's why I want another reason I don't like part three. I like part one and part two. Part three is my least favorite, and that's because, like, it's like every other Western. It's
I
just
love part
let's
two.
put Michael J. Fox in. Part two is great.
I love part two.
Part two is fantastic. When they go in,
Australia is certain areas. Well, there's an area in Australia where Trump is going to build the largest like hotel,
mhm.
and people don't want it. Some people want it, and they're comparing. They're calling him Biff. They're going like Biff wants to build a giant hotel here because Robert Zemeckis said that Biff in Back to the Future 2 is modeled after Donald Trump.
That's funny.
So everybody's comparing the giant hotel to Biff and Back to the Future because it's supposed to be
Kind
Trump.
of looks like Trump a little bit, I
I
guess.
think that was intentional. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. I never thought about him like well, at least in part two where he's all dressed up like whatever the rich guy or whatever in part two. Yes.
That's the Trump thing. Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe that's what he was supposed to be.
Um, I never thought about that, but now if I rewatch it, that's all I'm going to be thinking about when I watch it. We are going to be doing for the last episode of this season of Film Freaks. We're going to be doing Back to the Future, and you are invited if you want to come on the show. It'll be on a Sunday or something, if we
Sure.
can, like I don't know, Sunday afternoon or something. But I'm going to get, I'm going to try to get a big group of fans that love that movie to come, but it won't air till I think May. So,
I have a couple stories I can tell that are Back to the Future related.
there you go. I would love to have you on there. But
Yeah.
because it'll be either the 50th or this I think it's the 50th episode of Film Freaks. So we're just trying to have a good time and, make fun shit. But
I
just like
want them to not remake it because Zemeckis said as long as I'm alive, they're not going to remake it. But I want them to get back because you don't have to have Michael J. Fox unless you're going to do like a little cameo of him like sitting someplace because of his Parkinson's. To get the cast back together that was in the Eric Stoltz version and have Eric Stoltz back as Marty McFly, get Biff back, get back all the actors that were supposed to be in that version.
Crispin Glover might be tough now.
Yeah,
You
that's
gotta remember, I showed you that thing that he got in
yeah,
some
I don't
legal
know.
issue.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that. But then you get the actor who played him in part two.
Dude, I'm actually friends with that guy. I interviewed him a while back.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he was very open to talking about it because even though it's whatever. I mean, he was just truthful to what he knew, like because it wasn't his fault. He got asked to do it, and he said sure.
Yeah, it's a
And
gig.
stuff. It's a gig, and he did a great job. And so I was Jeffrey Weissman is his name, and he's a really nice, down to earth actor guy that I was very very happy I got to chat with, and stuff. Speaking of which, Jennifer Runyon passed. That sucks. So
Yeah, I saw that. That's no
uh,
good.
I interviewed her too a while back, as well. So but yeah, I really liked her, and she was really sweet to me. So I am kind of bummed out about that. I didn't know she was sick or anything. So,
No, sometimes you just don't. You just hear that this person has passed, and it's like,
I know.
what? What the?
Or
Huh?
I knew like James Vanderbeek was sick because that was all over the news for like a while.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh man, he's not. I was hoping he'd have at least another year, but he didn't, unfortunately. And so it makes it a little easier when like they're sick and stuff. Then you kind of can be prepared for like, oh, this sucks. I hope this doesn't happen, but you know. So when you don't know they're sick, because a lot of people don't tell people they're sick for a while. Like Bruce Campbell didn't tell anybody he's been sick. So
What's his face? Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Chadwick Boseman.
Oh, Chadwick Bowen.
Yeah,
Bo
he had serious cancer while they were filming.
Yeah, but if you don't tell people this, like people can't be prepared for it or whatever. And so I think I don't know if he had to have told Marvel, like let Marvel know. So, that they're ahead of it couldn't have been just like, oh, by the way, I'm sick, I'm dying now. Okay, bye.
I
You
don't
know?
know. That insurance would skyrocket.
Yeah. I don't know. So anyway, but
now that we've gone down this dark path of death,
Dark, dark, dark
so let's
rabbit
get back
hole.
to the movie that has a lot of death in it. So
It does.
I still think it's unfair that the ranch hand, the Hispanic guy, was with his friends and they killed the dad. I don't except for, the son, it looked like they were treated very well and respected and and the dad gave them money and all that type of stuff
Wait, was he Hispanic? The
wait, who?
okay, so in the was it in in that one scene where they're all like lined up, or whatever. The guy that comes up and has the mask on and takes it off. I think this is it this guy?
I think it's that guy, yeah.
Takes his mask off. Ah, who was that guy? You said that was the son?
That was the guy that he was one of the with the horse that was being,
Yeah.
he was there, and then when the dad comes up and gives him the money, he
Hmm.
gives the other hands, who are all Hispanic, the envelope of money, and then when the dad leaves, the guy who shoots the dad later comes up, and that's when he goes, they treat us like slaves. They
Okay,
think they
yeah.
can buy us. They think that they can own us.
But he was
And
white, right?
no, he was Hispanic.
He looked whiter than what I
No, no, he
knew.
he was definitely because when they shoot the dad, then the other guys are coming up the road.
Yeah, but those guys help, and they start shooting at him, right? And
Well,
everything.
the two guys,
Yeah, the
the
two
the one
guys.
guy who breaks the horse and then his friend,
Yeah.
they're good people, and so then yeah, then they start shooting. But once everybody's shooting each other, you see the three trucks come up that are doing the Forever Purge.
But wait, were they not doing the Forever Purge or were they doing the Forever Purge?
Which one?
Were they like the Hispanic guy that shot the father or
Yeah,
whatever? So they were all part of the Forever Purge too. Who set
yeah.
up this Forever Purge? Because they never
I
explained that.
I think it's within the. Of course, it would be, maybe we will find out later, but it's just probably over a period of time. They just people, you know, created this thing and then said, we're just gonna continue doing it after the alarm goes off,
Hmm.
after the sirens. And it was probably like a network of people just like, fuck this, we're just gonna do it for, and that's their excuse, is instead of just killing people, like, okay, well, we'll wait for the purge.
Hmm.
And then when the alarms go off, we're just gonna keep doing it.
That seems to be the thing.
Because it's the guy owns this big ranch, he runs it with his family, and nothing seems to be shitty.
Hmm.
We're not seeing, except for the son, who I just think is butthurt. He looked like a fool. The guy did it, did him one up, and and everybody knew it. But it doesn't look like anybody was treated horribly.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't look like it looked like they were a decent family, and maybe they were a conservative family, who knows, or
Hmm.
not. Maybe but yeah, I didn't like that the one guy killed him, and it just kind of seemed like he killed him because he was white.
Yeah.
So that's where I don't get with this person over on, in the chat over with OGP, that, he's like, oh, well, it speaks horribly of Republicans. No, it doesn't. You had
I
this
mean,
Hispanic guy just shoot somebody in the head, you
I
know?
think I think people probably also think a lot of the purge, because the liberals seem to be more like right, like they
Mm,
seem to be the heroes, and it seems to be more like the conservatives or the rich people
yeah.
who like that one group of people. Like if you're gonna get mad at it, you're gonna get mad at all the Purge movies because you're gonna think it speaks highly or it speaks poorly of all of them or whatever, because it sort
Well,
of makes them the
remember,
villains.
with the hunt, I said pick a side.
And they
and because
did.
the and I,
In my opinion, they did.
yeah, see, and I think you can look at it is that the Democrats are the villains. But in this, they definitely lean to the left. They definitely do. Because yeah, everybody who's at the parties, definitely conservative. You know,
But
um,
but even if like the hunt had the 'cause, wow, I can't believe we keep talking about the hunt, but that's also Plumhouse, and everything.
oh yeah, yeah.
Um, but even if the hunt sort of showed that off, that it's, that they're what is it? That the Democrats versus Republicans and the Democrats are the villains because they're the ones hunting the and some people might not. It's funny because some people might just be the exact opposite. They might be thinking, well, they're just getting they're okay for going around killing uh these Republican people. That's fine, because they're Republican. Like nowadays, that's like I feel like that would be what people are saying these days. Is like it's because if you're like, oh, I can't be friends with you because you're this political branch, either way, either on what side. Then some people might even go further and say it's okay if you go and kill them because they're on that side and not on ours, you know?
I do feel that the left has entered into that arena. You know,
I mean,
killing Charlie Kirk and then threatening to kill people if you mispronoun them.
I don't like, I'm not going to talk politics on that because I really don't know all the information on that stuff. So I don't want to get into that. But what I will say is that this movie definitely shows sort of that, and it does not like, it doesn't seem like it is one side or the other. It seemed like people are on both sides, fighting on both sides, fighting both sides.
well, but who's the bad guy here? So you have the guy on your picture there, um, who comes back and kills the dad who owns the ranch,
Right.
but nobody on the ranch is purging. They just they shut it all down. They're not out there killing people. They're just a family. They sleep through the night. We see the son go out there and he's
Right,
got
right,
like the
right.
cup of coffee.
I guess the bad guys are anybody who's doing the Forever Purge because the idea is other people aren't wanting this Forever Purge. They didn't ask for this. This isn't what they want, and this is not what the government wants. The government doesn't want more people killing people on any day that's not purge day, night. Like you're not supposed to do this. This is against the law. So now people who are on doing the Forever Purge are breaking the law. So they are criminals, um they are violators, and everything. And they're the villains. Anybody doing the Forever Purge is a villain.
Well, that's why I think the guy who shoots the dad in the head is the bad guy.
He's a bad
Because
guy.
you could sit there and say, he's Hispanic, he's a marginalized group, you could look at him in certain ways that, he doesn't have the privilege that the dad and the family would have. He doesn't, and so now he's going to go shoot them. But that doesn't make him right. That doesn't, so it's like where you may feel sorry for a group of people, does it really give them the right to go kill people who are fine? It's like who treat them well.
It's not the same guy that yelled mama, right? He's not the same guy.
No, 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 no.
You're
That's a
right. So
white
that's a whole
supremacist
different,
guy.
yeah. So those guys are also villains in the movie as
Oh,
well.
they're villains 24/7. I mean that's because they're white supremacists and they probably do horrible things to minorities. But
All you
it's
white supremacists listening to this, I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Um, no, but and oh my goodness, if a white supremacist is watching our show, please unsubscribe. I'm okay with that.
Well, yeah, because
Um,
that group with the guy who was with Mama, who oddly looks like to Drew Marvick, I'm just like, shit, that guy looks like Drew Marvick. Um,
God,
they're just
yeah, Drew could have played that part.
he could have. Um,
He would probably be less annoying than that guy. That guy cannot act. I swear to God. Every time he was freaking out, I was like, dude, you're a terrible actor. Shut up. You're annoying me.
wow, the people are just annoying you in this.
No, but that was the same guy that annoyed me. It's the white supremacist guy in the truck and stuff. That guy just annoyed the shit out of me.
Wait, that's the
So
same guy who was in the truck?
the one I was talking about, I thought you said the one that looked like Drew Marvick, right?
Well, there was the white supremacist in the truck that
With the
was like really
Nazi thing.
excited. Yeah, and then he had there was the
That
girl that
guy.
was by him too.
Oh, yeah, but that guy annoyed the shit out of me. That was the guy you said looked like Drew Marvick, right?
I'm thinking the guy who shot the Hispanic guy.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they're supposed to be the same person or not. Maybe they are. I don't know.
Probably not.
White people look all the same anyways, you know. How can we tell the
Uh,
difference? I mean, people probably look at this video and go, which one is Jonathan and which one is John? That's weird. I can't tell. They look
we
exactly
both
alike.
have beards now, but mine's not
Yeah.
as white as yours right now
And
yet.
we're both wearing a black shirt and we both have headset.
I
Yeah.
need I need to shave though. I'm just getting tired of it again. But
Let's
I'm
see.
just too lazy to shave.
See
I think
now
that was my
now
problem last time.
there we go. Now we look exactly alike.
And we got earphones on
Yeah.
and a black shirt.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
we're exactly the same.
Exactly. The same.
Um, and our names are John.
Yeah, that's
Mine
another
just has
thing.
nothing on after it, but
That's right.
um, actually, you know why I have a Jonathan is because my parents didn't like the name John. They didn't like putting the H in there at all, so they just named me Jonathan. And I was named, yeah, no, I forgot who I was named after, but named after somebody in the family.
I
Somebody
believe
in the family.
I believe I'm named after my dad's father or something like that. I don't know.
I just know my middle name, Alexander, was named after a
Alexander the
guy.
Great?
No, after a hermit guy that my family had that they loved, I guess. So maybe they were thinking I'd be a hermit one day. Maybe I will be.
Well, well, there you go. You know, maybe if you call your daughter, hey, we're going to name you Tracy Lords, you might grow up to be an underage porn star.
I hope not.
You know,
You know, well, actually, Tracy Lords was even named herself after uh Katharine Hepburn's character, and
Lords comes from Jack Lords from Hawaii Five-O. Her
no,
real name is Norma Kuzman.
no, but there was a character named Tracy Lords that Katharine Hepburn played.
Oh no, I know for a fact that it's the Lords comes from Jack Lord from Hawaii Five-O. She's talked about that.
That is weird though. So why would she call herself Tracy Lords based off of that character if she
Well,
was just
Tracy
gonna
probably came from something else, like Marilyn Manson or, you know,
Tracy Lord? Okay, yeah. So Philadelphia story had a Tracy Lord, not Tracy Lords. Okay, never mind. And
there you
then
go.
yeah, I'd love to ask her that question one day, but I won't
Oh no,
because
she probably would not
well,
want to
no,
answer.
because she won't talk to me unless I buy one of her things or something. She's very business first. She doesn't want to chit chat. She wants your money. That's it at a
No,
convention.
well, that's a whole other video to talk about her. So,
Probably should get off her, and talk about something else.
get all the way off that thing.
Get off that thing. Um, Honestly, I mean, like I said, it was a fun movie. It was not my favorite, but it wasn't my least favorite either. It was in the middle. I liked it, but I like election year and I love anarchy better. I don't know, they were more fun, you know? And this one, I, I had some fun, but like, and it went by. I don't know. Like I look at the time and it'll be like 15 minutes. And I'll be like, "Oh shit. It's been
Yeah, it's
15
almost
minutes." It
2 hours
feels
and it goes by very quickly.
I know it goes by really quickly. So there's just a lot that happens
Well,
really
it
quick.
keeps moving. Maybe
Yeah,
that's also why they didn't want to do another, like a third season, is just the TV shows weren't moving.
but I told you about that. Like that was my big problem with taking it's my problem with Chucky too. Like taking a Chucky idea and just putting it into like 10 episodes. You get a lot of boring
Well,
conversations
then
and
you're gonna
things like
love
that.
Scream, the TV series.
Oh, well, I remember I tried watching Scream season 1 and hated it. So we're
I
not
I'll say this because I am watching it right now. I just got a thing up my butt and I'm like, yeah, I want to watch it. It's like a murder, maybe two each episode, and the first episode is written by Kevin Williamson, so it does feel Scream, even though it is its own thing. I'm really enjoying it. When I first saw it, I turned it off. I didn't make it through the first episode. And then I tried it again. Didn't make it through the first episode. And then people told me, no, it's good. You should watch it. And I tried it a third time and I stuck with it and I liked it. And so now when I'm watching it and my DVDs of it, because they're the bootleg ones, look great. I don't know where they came from, but I am really enjoying the show. And
Are you sure
it
it's like the first episode's directed by or written
no, no,
by
no, no, not directed by. He
no,
wrote the
written
pilot.
because it says Jill somebody, Dan Dworkin and Jay Beatty wrote it.
No,
And Kevin
he's listed a story. He wrote the story. It's in the
Oh, he's
credits.
the story writer. Okay. This is
Yeah, and Wes Craven is one of the producers. He okayed the mask.
okay.
But it follows, it's weird is that it is very Scream 7. A
Oh,
mom with the past who's protecting her daughter from the past, and then the daughter, it gets more revealed what of the mom's activities. So it felt very Scream 7. So it's almost like, Kevin Williamson was like, nobody's going to remember the TV show. I'll just lift this little part from it and put it in this movie.
probably. And plus, yeah, most of the people, not a lot of people have seen the Scream TV series. But I remember I tried watching it. It was on like Netflix or one of those. I just could not get I think I watched a couple episodes, not just one. I just after a while I was just like this is kind of boring. Um, you know, but we'll see.
It feels like Dawson's Creek. It feels like when they're in the high school. It feels like the high school stuff in the
I
Scream movies.
I
It
love
just
the high school stuff in the Scream movies. I kind of wish they'd go back to that. That's why I liked watching Scream 7. I was like, ah, they're back to high school, because even Scream 4 had that, right? And that was a lot of fun. And then Scream 5 and 6 didn't make any sense because Scream 5 was it summer? Because, like, why weren't those kids in fucking school? You know? Like, sorry, this is not time to talk about Scream.
Scream 6, they're in college, if that
Yeah,
matters.
which makes no sense how they graduate. How do they all graduate after all this stuff that's going on?
I We had a big debate on Philip's channel last night about it. There were three of us, and I was the negative one,
Was
pointing out
that
all the flaws.
was that Jack Hunter too?
No, 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 no. It was the director of the film Exorcist. He works with the asylum a lot. Oh fuck, I'm blinking on his name. But Philip worked with him on a couple movies for the asylum, and so he was on
Exorcist?
because he's a big, big Scream fan. Like he's already seen Scream 7 5 times. Let's see.
Oh, Jose.
Yes, that's his name.
I was friends with him for a while and he I don't know. I don't think we're friends anymore on Facebook. Maybe he got a new one or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he's a huge fan of that. So we debated about the whole thing, and I brought up a whole bunch of what I thought were flaws, like bad story writing.
Did they convince you anything or no?
No, I don't think I convinced them. They didn't convince me. I mean, they're looking more at it as a film. I'm looking more of it as a script.
Yeah.
So, why is nobody calling 911? Where are the cops? Everybody's being killed. Everybody has a cell phone. Why not just call 911? It's like the police department, it doesn't even exist. So, worst police department ever. They don't even check the attic. I mean, come on.
That's terrible. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, yep, you're right. They didn't even, and it wasn't Joel McHale in the police department? Like, wouldn't
he's
that
the
be,
sheriff.
yeah, wouldn't he be the one going, hey, let's check the attic and see if anybody
Yeah,
snuck
hey
in?
guys, remember to check the attic upstairs, Yeah, they just completely forgot and the daughter even mentions it earlier in the film because, Sydney goes, "Hey, where'd you get that jacket?" And it's a jacket from Scream 2. And the daughter's like, "Well, I was going through some boxes in the attic and I found it." So the
That's
attic
another
is,
part of why I thought she might be in on the whole thing. I thought she might be the killer. Her daughter, she might be like in on the whole thing or whatever. Or, the husband could have been the killer too, or one of the killers. But anyway,
oh, fake Mark, as I call him.
all right. We'll talk. We remember we got all. We're gonna be back next. Uh, we're gonna be back next season for that. So get ready for that because by that time it should be available on Paramount Plus, I guess. I think.
I'll be
So
buying it. Even with my issues with it, I'll still buy it probably the
well,
first
I
day it
mean,
comes out.
you're a collector. You're you a completist if unless it's really really shitty.
I
And
got Megan 2.0 today, the unrated
see, there you
version.
go. You were definitely a completist. And did you even watch it?
It's awful. I saw it streaming. It's awful. But because we're going to be reviewing it, I bought it. So I'm starting my little collection of movies that we're going to be reviewing. So I still need to find Conjuring Last Rites. It's still too expensive. So
Is it like $20 or something?
more.
More for a
Yeah.
Blu-ray?
Yeah.
What? Let me see. Conjuring. Let me see how much it is. Um.
And because I didn't like it, I think it's probably maybe the second worst one. It could be the first worst one. I'm not willing to pay anything more than like $10.
Oh well, $10. That's definitely different.
15 maybe at most, but
Yeah, it's
and I
22.
think yeah, it's too much.
Wait, that's the last rights. Oh. Or you could buy The Conjuring: The Last Rites 4K Steelbook plus Blu-ray digital for $38.
No way. No way. I fell asleep in the theater 3 times watching Conjuring Last Rites.
You don't have to buy it, I guess. You can watch it
I
on
have all the other ones. I own all of them except for that one.
All right, so I want to look up real quick the Forever Purge box office. What else other movies were in there? Do you like doing this? Do you like hearing what other movies were out at the
Sure. Sure,
same
why not?
time? Um,
Yeah, it's a good way to wrap it up.
yeah. So we're at that time to wrap it up. So as you said, it said it grossed $77 million worldwide. Which against an estimated $18 million budget. So even though it did less than the other movies and stuff, probably the least amount, it still did a lot more than, its budget. So I guess it can still make another one and hope that it will do better. All right. So yeah, it was number three at the box office. Its opening night. That's not good. Um, F9 the Fast Saga was number one at the box office.
That's where they go to space.
Is that
I'm
real?
not joking. They actually go to space.
Oh
They
my God.
rig one of the cars with rocket engines and they go into space because they have to take down a satellite. I fucking love Fast and Furious. It's awesome. So good.
When is the Mission Impossible going to space? Because I know Mr. Cruise himself was trying to make a movie where he was actually in space for real and
Yeah.
and whatnot, but most expensive like thing of him wanting to be an astronaut, like most, you know what beat the Forever Purge? Do
Mm-mm.
you know what beat it after
No.
that? Like, because the Fast and Fast Saga, that I can understand that because that's a really big hit. Number two was the Boss Baby 2. I'm
Oh
not gonna
my
lie.
God.
That got
Okay.
5,770,300 on that day, and the
Boss
Forever
Baby.
Purge got 5,770. Like,
Wow.
wow. Uh, A Quiet Place 2, Part 2 was number four, so it was after the Forever Purge. Number five was The Hitman's Bodyguard. Number six is Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway. Oh God, these are getting down to like only 800. Man, this must have been a really bad week. When was this? This was July 2nd. Why did it
These
do
are Fourth of July movies.
right? Why are these like so poor? Or just people not I I'm telling you, it was people didn't want to go to the theater, because of COVID. This is still COVID time.
Well, that's also where they had like every other seat had like an X in it or it had like plastic over it, so you would have to
So
separate yourselves.
so that meant like less people were going to go to the theaters anyway because if they didn't have all the seats filled, you know.
Yeah.
So there you go. So they had only half the seats basically, you know, in the theater. So yeah, I guess every one of them would have done bad. So number seven was Cruella, and that was like 4 weeks and already in. Number eight is a movie called Zola. I don't know, stripper movie. Have you heard of that one? A stripper
Mm,
named Zola embarks on a wild road trip to Florida. Who?
no, no idea.
Taylor something Riley Keogh. Hate that guy's name because I can't say his or her. I think it's a girl. Riley Keogh. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Then number nine is In the Heights. Number 10 was Summer of Soul or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised. 11 is that a sequel? Yeah, Spirit Untamed. So it was a sequel to the movie Spirit. Uh, Number 12 was Nobody. So that's kind of. Oh, number 13 was Werewolves Within. I didn't even know that went to theaters. I've seen that on Tubi.
Isn't
That's
that
number.
the like an unofficial sequel to The Wolf Man?
I don't think is that a joke or is that a
No.
real? A new awkward park ranger arrives in a small town, and murder and havoc soon follows. The paranoid town folk soon suspect each other, but a devious shape-shifting werewolf becomes their prime suspect. So I don't know. That was number 13. Number 14 is Demon or Queen Bees. Queen Bees is number 14. Number 15 is Demon Slayer, the movie. It's a I guess it's a anime movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a popular series.
Okay. Then number 16 is Wrath of Man. I don't know that one.
Oh,
Num
that's a great one. That's Jason Statham.
well then you love
So
Jason Statham.
yes, it's one of his best movies. It's a Guy Ritchie movie. It's a
Num
great film.
Number seven is Raya and the Last Dragon. That was the Disney movie. Number 18 is Witnesses. What? For nearly 200 years, skeptics and critics have been trying to explain away what many Book of Mormon witnesses stated that they had seen angels in hefty gold medal plates containing ancient inscriptions. So it's a Book of Mormon movie? It's a
Hmm,
Mormon movie? I don't know.
no idea.
Um, it makes sense. Aren't they called witnesses? Like the ones that come to your house and bother you?
I think so, yeah.
I I have a funny story with that. I took my dad and my brother to a hotel, and they were going on their way to Vietnam the next day, right? So I took them to a hotel in Norfolk, and uh I was leaving and I was like, I've really got to go to the bathroom. So the closest bathroom was Target, right? I was like, I'll go to the bathroom and I'll go to the shopping, right? As I get out, I really have to go. It's like it's bad, right? So I get out and I notice this guy, this Mormon guy comes up to me. It's like, "Hi, would you be interested in coming to my church tomorrow?" I'm like, "I gotta go to the bathroom." I
Get
push
out
him
of
out
my
of the way.
way.
And he was like, "Oh, okay, never mind." I probably sounded like Satan at that time. That was funny.
Hey man, when
Uh,
you gotta go, you gotta
what
go.
are you gonna go? You gotta go. It doesn't matter. Number 19 was Spiral, and number 20 is the Sparks Brothers. So I don't know that. A lot of those I don't know because I think a lot of them came and went under COVID, you know, like they didn't last very long, you know. So, but
Yeah,
they also might not have been very good, or
there's
whatever.
that too.
But it's interesting to see that this was number three. Like this was number three, and like I think it's been number one in the box office every other time. So the fact they should not have gone up against Fast and the Furious. Like they should have known better. Like that they're not gonna get very well. They're not gonna do very well on that one. But whatever. The point is it's it was the lowest grossing movie of theirs, of the Purge, and so hopefully people understand that it wasn't necessarily their fault, you know.
Well, you
But
just get tired. I mean, it's been out there for, for a while.
I mean,
It's like when they stopped making, Saw, because all of a sudden Paranormal Activity was out there. And, Saw was one, and then all of a sudden Paranormal Activity comes out, and now it's two. And they're like, okay, we're number two now, so we're going to make one more and wrap this up. We're done. And it's like you didn't have to. I mean, just because the film is, it's a new series. Of course, it's going to do better than something that's been out there for eight movies.
so usually you want them to do like double the budget, right? Because like count like 18 million, you want 36 million, right? And so take that 36 million and subtract 70, what was it, 77 million. You get $41 million basically is what they made from a profited from it, which to be honest, that's not Blumhouse like level good, Like generally there's at least $100 million profit, on their movies. So it's kind of disappointing, but in the same sense, it is what it is. I didn't see it because I was not a fan of The Purge back then. This is still one of my least favorite, you know, franchises, kind of up there with Saw. Like, I'm not a really big Saw fan. So
It,
I told you this. This is not new.
it shocks me every time.
This is not new. I love Chucky. I think Chucky is great. I love Scream. I love Halloween, except for the last three, you know, and
Rude.
maybe even some of the Rob Zombie stuff. I'm not into it. The first seven, no, seven, not eight movies are pretty good, of the Halloween movies. But eighth one was terrible. But I love that I chatted with the guy who played that guy who played Michael Myers in it. He offered me a beer. I turned it down, you know. But he offered myself and my friend Joe a beer. He's like, "You guys want one?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm good, thank you." And Joe turned him down, even though he shouldn't have, because I don't know, I wouldn't have cared. But I think he did it because to be nice to me, like, not rude to me, but you know, whatever. Anyway, that guy, that he said the one thing he said about being Michael in that one was that he got his butt whooped by Coolio, I believe, in that movie, in the Halloween Resurrection.
Yeah, that is Coolio. Yeah.
Yeah, so he got his butt whipped by Coolio, and he gets all these racist assholes come up to him all the time. It was like, I'm gonna kick your ass because you turned Michael Myers into a pussy, and I'm like, have you seen Halloween Ends? They gotta go after the guy who played Michael Myers in that one, then, because he was the biggest pussy of them all.
Oh,
Well,
how,
a dude who I've talked to you about this a million times. Dude, a dude named Corey who got beat up by band geeks. No, no, I'm sorry. No, no. If he got beat up by band geeks, he can't beat up Michael Myers. Then that just ruins the movie, thing.
you
But
know
we
what? You try to fight, band geeks. We'll
I'll
see what
fight band
happens.
geeks. I'll whoop their ass. I don't care. But I'm older than them, so I probably wouldn't do that now. Because that'd be wrong.
Just rude.
No, I don't like it. I hated it. But we've talked about that. We've already had our review of that, and I've said my piece. It ain't changing. You ain't gonna convince me that Halloween Ends is this amazing masterpiece.
I don't
You
plan
know,
on changing anybody because I am in the minority. That is definitely for sure.
and you're happy about being in the minority. Is that you have to be going against the grain?
I like the movie. What can I say? So yeah.
Be truthful to who you are, even if it's wrong.
So well, I mean, that's the thing is you can have your opinion, but I'm always right.
No, I'm pretty right on that. I'm not of
Uh,
that opinion, but it's
no,
okay.
give
I
it time and it's going to be looked at as a classic. So
if it is ever looked at as a classic, I'm done.
it's
I'm
going to be one of those things where somebody's going to watch it, then they're going to do an article on it, going, "Was Halloween Ends that bad?" And then they're going to make like a whole case for how it's not bad.
no, 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 no. Sorry, I can't. I can't do it. Now, if you ever say Halloween Kills is a great movie, I know you're done.
No, I don't like Halloween Kills.
No,
No,
I mean anybody who says Halloween Kills is. I have seen people say that, and I'm like, you're wrong, absolutely wrong.
that's freaking
You know,
boring.
well,
Really boring.
it's not just really boring. It's awful. It's just a really dumb movie, and I hate the evil dies tonight shit. Just stop it.
Oh my God, that went on forever.
I
Yeah.
don't know. And people kept still saying it. I'm like, you guys are the reason why we need sterilization. I'm sorry. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm being honest. I'm not saying the people who say Halloween Ends is a good movie needs that necessarily. I'm
Necessarily.
necessarily. I'm just saying that people who like Halloween Kills and quotes it, as being a great movie, you're wrong. And, whatever. Anywho, that about wraps it up, I think. We don't talked about this movie enough. And
On that note.
on that note, I did like the Forever Purge. I'm happy I own it. Um, it's weird. I just don't think I'm ever really gonna watch these movies again. Like we're gonna do our rating and review in a couple weeks, and I don't think like once again they're kind of like Saul. Like it's after a while, like I might watch a new one, that comes out just because I've seen the other ones and we're probably going to review it, that kind of thing. But aside from that, I just no interest in revisiting these because after a while, it's like I think I mentioned it before, but like, I liked the first one when it first came out, when I first saw it, because I thought, oh, this is kind of interesting. The premise has an interesting premise. What if, um, and that's really funny that he was driving around and he just thought of that. Like, you know, whatever. Like, what if, there was no crime, or crime was allowed for, 12 hours, or whatever. What would you do? You know? And I'd like to see more crime, not just killing people, but like crime. And they don't really do that enough. This one, they had a lot more of like people throwing fire and doing all that stuff, but like that was just anarchy. Oh, and I like that image of the water tower coming down.
Oh yeah, that was
That
cool.
is,
That was a good
yeah.
shot.
Um, made me think of both Paramount and Warner Brothers because I saw both of their water towers when I was visiting and everything.
And
So
now that they're together, they're just going
they're
to then fall down.
one of them will, and then they'll rise up. Wouldn't it be weird to have it like because they do have if you look at Paramount, it does say like Skydance underneath Paramount. So what's it gonna do? Warner Brothers on one side and Paramount on the other side for the water tower logo.
Maybe.
Maybe I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if that even if all of this even happens, if it all goes through, what happens, you know. So we'll find out. And we'll find out what our exact thoughts are when we recap and rank and review this movie. But until then, everybody, have a good one, and we'll be back in a couple weeks. Till then,
Bye.
bye.